last time you remember when you understood the amount of privilege you're living in. But for me, it was when I was about 22 years old. I was in this local village in Egypt, and I met a little girl. My name is Dalia, and I met another girl, a little girl called Dalia as well. And it was the first time I meet someone with my same name. But she was living in a very different reality than mine. And she completely put me in check in terms of how much I have, how little she has. She lived, in a very poor area, no roof, and from that moment she became my conscience. And every year when I work on trying to improve and develop anything I'm working on, she's my conscience. To what extent am I helping people like Dalia get more aid more quickly than through my work? So I looked at the people around me that are working to support people like Dalia in poverty. And so there were two things I noticed. On the individual level, the change maker level, there's about 17 million Facebook users in Egypt that are using social media. And from those that are around me, there's a common discussion going around how we have a lot of life goals, but internet completely sucks some of those goals for those that are not able to get themselves outside of the bubble of social media and completely keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and are not able to reach their life goals. So that's on the change maker level. On the national level, I've attended an important moment in my life was when I attended a Richard Branson conference. And basically he was presenting to a panel of very influential people in the room. And it was very frustrating for me how all of these interesting, influential people just came to sit and watch him speak, and for about 20 minutes before the conference started, there was no ability for us to interact. And as an introvert, I found it very hard to get into a room of very influential people and actually start conversations. So I wanted to see, is there a way that you have all these very important conferences around the world, very business attire-like, very formal conversations, is there a way to break the ice very quickly? Because if these people in this room were able to connect, they can mobilize age much faster to people like Dalia. And so it was frustrating for me how conferences are organized. So I took these two things and I started to develop an experience called ElRehla, which means the journey. We've been working for 4 years now to organize out-of-office retreats where we take entrepreneurs, change makers, freelancers, and different business professionals and leaders outside of the city to connect very deeply for 4 days and reinvent how networking happens between people. So to take you just a bit through the journey, this is what we do is we try and use different tools to get different types of personalities to connect. So introverts, they have certain ways where they shine, and other people shine in different ways. And so we use different elements on the mind, body, and soul level to get people to really connect on a much deeper level. What happens is that after they come back from the camp, they've got to know each other's dreams, hopes, aspirations, and they start to develop business. They just start to do business together, or they start to become each other's mentors, or they connect them to other opportunities and stuff. So we use different tools to connect people together, but the aspiration is that they grow their businesses or their work after. We tried to make a study of where we fit. We've mapped over 200 organizations doing similar work, and we felt that if we come to talk about what we do, we kind of fall in the middle, which is why people think that the experience is very unique. We're in the middle of creating an experience that changes habits. There's deep conversations for the people that attend. There's innovation, and there's art and play. We have 3 different programs that we have. There's the B2C model. We directly, our customers are users from the public. The corporate retreats, which is the main thing that's going to sustain us when we have these similar type of camps, but for the private sector. And we have B2B speed networking providers where we sell to big conferences the concept of us being their speed networking provider. So rather than have a very big room of influential people not get connected, this is what we do. Okay, so I don't know what the problem is, but in general, what we're trying to do is disrupt the way that networking happens across the world. And what TED did with spreading ideas is what we aspire to do with connecting communities more effectively. Thank you.
Thank you.